Sorry, you guys. It looks like I lost some internet connection. Um, but uh, where was I? Yeah, so menopause. Um, menopause is 1 day. We 1 year without a menstrual cycle. Perimenopause can be up to 10 years prior. You can start seeing different shifts, whether your menstrual cycle is shortening, lengthening, whether you're having a heavier or lighter bleed. There's different ways that your hormones are affected during that time. And again, it's a time where a lot of women are told, oh, you're just getting older. And yes, we are, but there is a reason. There are things that you can do. There are different tests just to see where you're at. Knowledge is power. Um, Sometimes too much knowledge can be detrimental. The more you know, sometimes the more it feels like you have stuff to work on. But it can be really important to knowing what your next step is, how you want to approach menopause, how you want to support your body during that time. And, I think we live a lot of our life postmenopausally. That is a long time without hormones, at least naturally, and you need to decide what is best for you. And also, if you're having bone density issues, are you going to be on different bone density medications? Are you looking at supporting your hormones to protect those bones naturally? There's different ways to kind of go about it. Um, but also, there are some things that we do not relate to hormones. And one of the big ones, it's one of my favorites to tell women, is cholesterol. How many women out there go through menopause and suddenly their cholesterol shoots up and they're put on some kind of medication and they're like, but I didn't change anything. You did not. Your body did. All of our hormones are made from LDL cholesterol, which is considered our bad cholesterol, but different topic for a different time. And so that LDL cholesterol lost its job. And so now that LDL cholesterol, it's like sitting around and it's waiting and it's waiting and it's just rising because it doesn't have something to do. It needed to exert its energy and it lost that job. So, again, not crazy. Hormones play a role in so many different things. Again, even digestion, constipation, diarrhea, it can play a role. So, I was talking about hair loss. We have different hormones related to it. Obviously, testosterone we think of for like male pattern issues, but it does happen in women as well. So, I think it's important that we remember that the whole body is connected and that we have our hormones really do play a huge role. They're related to, like I said, our thyroid, blood sugar balance, cholesterol, mood, memory. And so when we're looking at hormones, it's not just did you have a menstrual cycle or not. That is important, but you could have a bleed and not ovulate. So are you ovulating? Are you having symptoms that might look like PCOS or endometriosis, depending on which stage of life you're in? So there is a lot that we can do, but you have to look at the whole picture. There's different testing that can be done, whether it's in blood. There is a test called the Dutch test, which is a dried urine test. It gives you all of the metabolites of the different hormones, which is a really cool way to look at it. If you're doing if you're testing hormones and you are a cycling woman, you need to know which day you got them tested because again, each day looks different. Some days you want them higher, some days you want them lower. So depending on which day you got them tested is going to make a difference on where those lie in your in the reference range. And so, we can always look at them in a different light. You can get tested through different phases of your cycle, especially if you're trying to get pregnant. It would look different than if you're trying to test for PCOS or endometriosis. So hopefully this is not too convoluted. Again, I love talking about hormones, but they are all over the place, right? And each person's is a little bit different. And that's kind of the beauty of it. but it also makes it a little bit more complicated because it's not a size fits all approach. It is looking at all of those different systems, and now, looking at our environment even more than we have in the past. And so I send in some questions if you'd like. I'm happy to answer them. Or, if you think that you have some hormonal concerns that you want addressed, then, come in, set up either a holistic consult with me, which is free 15 minutes. I'm happy to make sure that we think we're a good fit, or set up a consultation so that we can look at how we can support your hormonal and wellness journey. And we'll continue doing more Wellness Wednesdays, and I look forward to seeing you at our next one. Bye.